it's more like everything that they do is more like on a mechanical sense. And once you go to the mechanical sense, then you're taking away what's natural from that, and the essence has been lost because they have to do it in that way compared to other races on the planet, say, i.e. African mainly, for lack of a better word, which is more like a rhythmic people with rhythm that flow. And for many different races, it doesn't work like that, so they will have to do it in that mechanical sense. But that mechanical sense, with most races picking it up from that part, then they're going to be led astray from off the part. Have we got the brother back, or are we trying to go through the next device?
We probably have to switch. We probably have to switch devices soon, but we're
yeah. Well, so far we can do it, as the brother mentioned, Sheikh Anton Diop, which is one of our significant teachers throughout time, and the day that when he was teaching in that day and time, you could imagine he was a master teacher in that sense, with the information that he was coming out with at that time. So, you know, we always acknowledge all those who come before us and walk. We try to walk in the path that they walk and follow those footsteps that we do the right thing like them as well. Like we're here, in the sense, as a master teacher said, we're here to set that record straight, because there's been a lot of confusion, misconstrued, misinterpreted, misdirected, deliberately done information that is putting out by what we class as today as the enemy in that sense. And they're putting out quite a bit of information, and that information is not like synchromeshing with what natures dictate, what the nitir or the natir or the natar has prescribed out there for us. So we're in that state of confusion as well when it leads on to that, because you will find like Nubian try to lean towards things that is not theirs naturally. When I say naturally, not theirs by nature, which doesn't work in the bounds with us. We cannot work with things that go against us. We have to work with things with the volume. Yes.
Yes, bro. We do apologize. It seems our main device is just simply not connecting with the net at the moment. Let's try the secondary device. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Brilliant. Well, we just got a few minutes to the break anyway. We'll continue on the secondary device as long as it's working, and the public is hearing the information. So I just want you to actually finish what you were saying before we just jump onto the ad break, and come back to the second half of the interview on the show.
Okay. So I want to conclude that part of what I was saying by saying that it's incumbent upon Africans to get in tune with their Africanness. Now, we got to study more than ancient Kemet. Ancient Kemet is a very beautiful place to start, but it is not as important as the period that preceded it. The period that preceded it, the hundreds of thousands of years that preceded ancient Kemet, actually gives you a very clear understanding of what the spiritual system was about. This is why when I talk about the black woman as God, a lot of people are not connecting with it, because in ancient Kemet, patriarchy began to start taking form as early as the first dynasty with King Min. But as it began to proceed throughout the dynasties, and especially around the 18th dynasty, that became very corrupt. It became very corrupt with the priesthood of Amun-Ra and the clans of Horus. They became very corrupt, and they began to wage war on the Great Mother, because the first levels of power was spirituality, economics and politics. And in the very earliest times, it was well known that the women were the first representation of politics, spirituality, and economics. As a matter of fact, in early prehistoric Egypt, the goddess held supreme in Upper Egypt, which is the south. Her name at that particular time was Nekeb, and she was symbolized as a vulture. The people of Lower Egypt, which included the northern Delta region, worshipped the supreme goddess as a cobra, using the name Usit, which is later the name Aset, which also was called the Great Serpent. And from on then, you have the goddess Nut, Nit, and you also have Neat. You see, but even earlier than those times, you had the bird goddess, and one of the oldest names of the goddess was Mami Wata. Now, Mami Wata is one of the earliest names of the Great Mother. So in the earliest times in our history, it was centered around the Great Mother. The mother was first, and then she gives birth to her son. She is God. He becomes the son of, and then becomes the lover of God. So this is how the males were introduced into the cosmology. But preemptively, it was always the Great Mother. So we have a Eurocentric perspective of the roles of male and female.
We just have to take a quick break there and run